San Diego parents are expressing concern as schools are returning with mask mandates and even more remote classes. So yes, the mask mandates, political theater show thing still is not stopping despite everything. Let Them Breathe founder Shannon McCammon slammed San Diego School Board President Wednesday after she suggested students uncomfortable with the renewed and I would suggest apparently never ending mask mandate should just not return to class and resume virtual learning instead. It doesn't make any sense. This continued masking and things like this, especially with school children. I don't have to go through the numbers and the statistics in terms of the thing, but it doesn't make any sense in terms of policy. It's bad for policy. It's bad for the children. It's bad for learning. It's bad for everything. It's just a political theater. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I see. Even with this, I think I have a little disagreement because I think every place is different, right? I don't know what their numbers are. I don't know, they have this new part of the virus coming up or whatever. I don't know what their numbers are. I don't know what their reasoning is. So you're right. It's just to say blanketly nobody should do it. I don't know. I think every local, and I think that's maybe that's my conservativeness coming out, but I think every place should be able to determine what's good for them. If they think this is good for them and they have that reasoning, then that's fine, right? It may not be good in Austin, Texas, or here in New York in some places, but if they feel they got a problem and they want to go back to this, then I think the local officials there who they elect should be able to. And the parents don't like it, then vote them out. That's what they did in what's it called in San Francisco with the DA, right? The DA wasn't prosecuting people shoplifting. They removed them. They're like, get the hell out of here. We want somebody else in. So I don't know. I'm kind of, even though I wouldn't do it, but I think, when it comes to just the legal aspect of it, I agree with local control. And I believe in those localities, in those states, if they want to make these decisions, even though I may not agree with them, like I don't agree with New York's gun laws and stuff, but as long as they have the right to do it, then so be it. Let them suffer with it. It's unfortunate, but that's just what it is.
Their ability to make certain decisions, and those decisions being wise, prudent, reasonable, are a whole different thing. So
they can sue them in federal court. Does this law have a reasonable basis, right? A rational basis.
How hard that is?
Exactly. So that's why the political process is the process you would do.
I never said it was illegal. I never said it was legally wrong. I never said I said it didn't make any sense. I said it was bad as a matter of policy. I said it was bad for children. I said it was bad for education. I never said that this was illegal. I never made a legal argument. My arguments were not because I separate those arguments.
Yeah, see, I'm making both a legal argument. My legal argument is that if this locality wants to make this decision, they're subject to the political process, so be it, right? I don't agree with it. But yeah, and that's essentially what you're saying too. You don't agree with it. You think it's bad policy, but that's what their locality does. And I don't know. The mask thing too. I think there's a lot of confusion about mask. I think a lot of people don't really understand how it really even works. But even to go down that rabbit hole, I don't think masks are now generally. But we'll see. Have you heard about this new strain that's supposed to be coming out and supposed to get people concerned? I don't know what's going on.
Whatever. There's always another strain, a new strain or whatever. Yeah. It's always something. It will always be something forever. All I know is after the mask mandate ended, and I've been in airports, the number of people wearing masks is de minimis. So the only reason people were wearing masks was because they were being forced to. When you give people the option individually, when you give them the power to decide whether or not to wear masks for themselves or not, no one does it. So people are making the decision for themselves, and 95% of them are saying no. So,
but that's like the seatbelt argument, right? If people weren't mandated by law to wear seatbelts, 95% of people wouldn't wear seatbelts, right? Even though we know it saves lives, it's because sometimes people have to be mandated to do things that based on public policy. But again, that's where it comes to the people who are passing those laws. Because you're right, 95% of people don't. We're doing a lot of things that we do because we're being forced by government regulation. It just happens to be the case. You can say that about anything. From mask mandates to seatbelts to, whatever.
Thank you so much for being part of the Uncivil Law family. If you enjoyed this legal education content, please hit the subscribe button. It really helps the channel grow. We appreciate your continuing support. Until later, my friends, cheers and goodbye.